other thing that happened is I got hit by the tsunami in 2004.
What?
Yes.
John, I've been dying to interview you for years. Finally. Thank you for coming.
Jeannie, I was so excited when I saw you were going to interview me. It was actually the highlight on my whole itinerary, and it's a huge itinerary.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. So you're back after 10 years promoting Spud. What's it been like? How's your new book been received?
It's been so well received. I was worried that there might be just this, like, what? About Spud coming back, but I felt this love. I felt this genuine sense that it's got into the minds, the histories, the hearts of people.
Yeah.
Not just a book that they really, or books that they really enjoyed, but actually books that almost open up doors to their past, their history, their school life, their relationships, whatever it is. So I'm just feeling this wonderful buzz of sharing wherever I go, almost like a reunion myself.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here. I loved the book. In fact, I'm your biggest fan, but I see you brought your smallest fan as well.
Yes. I got covered on both sides.
Perfect. If you look at how people have connected with your books from all ages, from all walks of life, it's a universal story, you know, this coming of age story of a boy. Everybody loves it. And the world needs Spud.
Well, thank you, Jeannie. And it feels like there is that everyman quality to Spud, where everybody sees a little bit of Spud in themselves.
Yeah.
Or if not Spud, maybe another character. I mean, but a lot of people see themselves as like they've had to struggle. We all frame our lives like that. Even people who are successful go like, we've had to struggle to get here. And that's what makes being successful, getting to a level of success, fulfilling. Because you remember, you know, like I remember my 1/3 life crisis where I didn't have any work and I was wondering whether I was going to quit the creative career. And this is probably a year before I started writing Spud. So, you know, so quickly things can change, you know, in your life. And people must, particularly in creative careers, remember that. They need to give it time. The time for your career to happen, but also for your learnings to take place so that you're ready to crack it when the time comes.
Totally. Were you ready to crack it? Were you ready to handle it, to manage it?
I was. And you know what really helped me, and a lot of people don't know this, is I did a master's degree of varsity in drama. And my thesis I did on masculinity and private boys' boarding schools. My master's thesis. So I studied the way that private boys' boarding schools had been portrayed in film, books, television, what have you, from the earliest days, Tom Brown's school days, Dead Poets Society. And I started to see all these different archetypes of male characters that were being created, like the rebel, the jock, the victim, the artist, the outsider.
The scammer.
Yeah, exactly. He is a scammer, exactly. But as all scammers, very, very engaging and attractive too. So I started to see all these things. So when I actually built Spud, the first Spud, I had this vast knowledge of masculinity which really underpinned it. Otherwise, I don't think I would have had the mastery over it. But I wanted to make it funny. And I think this is where I was changed. Everybody else was trying to actually make more of a point about there, even like Good Will Hunting, you know, those kind of movies. And I wanted to do that, but I also wanted to reflect my one, which is there's an ambivalence. There was a love and a hate. And I'm not sure at the end, still, right now, how I feel about my school days. And I think that comes through in Spud.
But it's genius, and it shows up in your writing, just to create so many characters that are so layered. I was always thinking, are these characters based on real people? Because the complexity and the layers is just, I think, to be able to create each one and give them such depth and history, it's amazing.
You know what it is? There were inspirations, not necessarily well, there's an inspiration for everyone, but they weren't always guys in my dormitory. I would say Nutty Vern was very realistic, and Rambo, ironically, was inspired by actually quite a dark individual. He keeps getting in touch with me, like, over time.
In real life?
In real life.
Oh, wow. Does he know that he's Rambo?
Yes. He's actually changed he used to be called, I think, Blow at school. His nickname was Blow, like Afrikaans for blue. He now calls himself Rambo Blow. So he's appropriated it. And I think he said to me in one message, he said, I'm keeping in a very Rambo way, I'm keeping your thing going don't worry, when kids come talk to me, I tell them it's all true, kind of like, that. But I get a sense that he's loving it. And then he said to me he was going to come to the launch in Joburg, but then didn't come, which is typical Rambo, like kind of, you wonder what night, which launch and what night and how's it going to be, and then you don't see him. So
it's just keeping you on your toes.
He's keeping my toes, and just like I'm watching you.
Do you have another book in you?
I would love there to be now a sequel to this sequel.
Why? The way this one ends is that there will be a sequel, and Netflix needs it.
Well, wouldn't that be nice? Because then, it's season. But I do feel like that I would love that. And I did choose this era because a lot happened to me in this era from 26 to 30. Spud was one thing, but I also got my break in theatre, which allowed me to write Spud during the day while we were performing and touring. And the other thing that happened is I got hit by the tsunami in 2004.
What?
Yes.
So when you say you got hit by it, how far, how close, what?
Holding on while things are flooding
joking.
around us. And yes.
John.
Yes. Now, how is this? In that time, Ben and I decided we were going to spend 2 months backpacking through Thailand. So off we went. But just before I went, I heard from Penguin they were going to publish Spud. Basically, a year's time it will come out.
Stay alive.
But I was like, woohoo! But I didn't think that was going to change my life. Literally on that day, I was at the coffee shop about 10:30, and I remember just this person freaking out. They were on the phone, and I heard them shouting, "Ko pipi, ko pipi, ko pipi!" And they grabbed the computers and the till and everything and just ran. So to suddenly see this wave go woof and then rush towards you much faster than a normal wave. I remember seeing the boat that was anchored just doing flick-flacks, like almost in slow motion, and screams around me. It was the weirdest thing. I never felt like I was going to die in the moment. It was only afterwards when they took us back to land, everything was gone. So the wave had come past like this and then come back and hit them on the way back. And we realized our little beach was the only part of the island not destroyed. And I promise you, that was when I came back, I said, I will never take life for granted again. And if this book, whatever this book gives me, I'm going to give back. And I also want to spread the love because I don't know how long I'm going to be on this earth. So it shaped who I became when Spud launched. And I think to this day, I still have that love connection,
Yeah. And gratitude.
And gratitude for being here, because it could have been a posthumous novel and then just one.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing so much of your beautiful soul with us.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Really
It's been
lovely.
lovely.